What's up, YouTube? I hope you're doing well. It is a gorgeous Friday afternoon on the 1st of June, 2018. And right in Washington Square Park, beautiful day. I love this park. It's right around the corner from where I live. But what I am doing right now is day one of my 30-day challenge. And very briefly, 30 days, every single day, I'm uploading to YouTube because I've been so inconsistent with my YouTube that I decided, screw it, I'm doing a 30-day challenge. Reason being, one thing I've done a lot with my inner circle members over the years is consistent challenges. 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is. The point being that if you struggle with your nutrition, hitting your calories, hitting your protein, going to the gym, whatever, sometimes it's not that you actually can't, but it's a belief, a lot of times subconscious belief, that you don't have the time, you don't have the ability, it's not gonna work. And by forcing yourself to do it, just no exceptions for 7 days straight, 30 days straight, 90 days straight, whatever it is, you realize you can. You realize it actually is very doable, you just haven't been prioritizing it. So I'm forcing myself to do it for 30 days straight, and I don't think I'll do it every single day for the rest of my life, but I do think that even if I start uploading more consistently one time a week after this, it's a win. It's just getting a little bit better, just a little bit better every single day doing something. So 30 days straight every day. And what I'm gonna do is, number one, we're gonna drink coffee together. Calling this series Coffee with Jordan, Unicorn Magic Coffee, shout out. It's my coffee company. That was just, I have to shout out Unicorn Magic Coffee. But every day you can ask me your questions on Twitter. So at SYATT Fitness. Whatever your questions are, I'll go in, I'll answer as many as I can. And even after these 30 days are up, I'm gonna continue to do it, ideally at least once a week. Have a Coffee with Jordan series, hang out, shoot the shit, answer any questions you have, and that'll be that. So, I have all the questions for today that I'm gonna answer right here. And first one came from Chris Miguel on Twitter. He said, love handles are a trouble area for fat loss. What is the best way to target them? It's a great question. So, first and foremost, there are going to be some people who will tell you that it is impossible to target a certain area on your body for fat loss. Like you can't choose if you lose fat here or just lose fat here, lose fat here. They'll say you can't choose where you lose fat. There will be other people who tell you that you can target where you lose fat. That they say if you want to lose fat on your abs, then you can do exercises on your abs and target fat loss there. Now, what do I think? Well, like almost everything in the world, it's a gray area. It's not black and white. Can you target certain areas for fat loss? Technically, yes. Practically, no. And I'll explain what I mean. Technically, yes. If you want to burn fat on your stomach, then you can do a significant amount of stomach exercises and you can burn fat there. But practically, no, because it's not significant. It's not any meaningful amount. If you have a lot of fat on your belly and you just do a bunch of crunches hoping that that's gonna burn fat there, it's not gonna work. That's not what the major bang for your buck in terms of losing fat and getting more defined is gonna bring you. That's gonna come from a calorie deficit. The only way to lose a significant amount of fat is by being in a calorie deficit. Keeping in mind, a calorie deficit can come from either eating fewer calories and or doing enough exercise, enough movement to burn enough calories. So it's the combination of the two. Now, what's also important to remember is this. You can't really, in a practical sense, target where you're gonna burn fat. Like you can't significantly lose fat in a certain area just by doing exercises there, but you can choose where you build muscle. And that's important to remember because, let's say for example, you want to target your, let's say like this area, like your underarms, right? A lot of people have some excess fat in their underarm, their tricep area, like right there where they want to lose fat. Just by doing tricep kickbacks, you're not going to really burn any significant amount of fat there. But you can build muscle there through tricep kickbacks, through push-ups, tricep press downs, overhead tricep extensions. All of that is going to help you build muscle there. And what that will do is, it will make it so when you eventually do start losing fat and you're in a calorie deficit, that definition is gonna come out more quickly. Where it won't necessarily lose the fat around it more quickly, But once you do start losing fat, the definition is going to come out more significantly. And that's really what is the major bang for your buck. You can really hone in on being in a calorie deficit to lose fat, and you can really hone in on targeting your muscle groups to build that muscle definition. That's what you should focus on. Technically, yes, there is research showing that you can burn fat in certain areas by targeting them. There is no research, either in lab research or in practical research, just in bodybuilders, people doing this as their living, showing that it's a significant amount. The plain and simple, tried and true method of being in a calorie deficit to lose fat and then building muscle in a targeted area to build that muscle definition, that's what you have to focus on. Don't do 1,000 crunches a day because you think you're gonna burn enough fat to really get muscle definition there or to get rid of your love handles. The only way you're gonna get rid of your love handles is through being in a calorie deficit through a significant amount of time. That's it, that's really it. And another thing worth mentioning, you can't choose where your body loses fat in terms of what order, right? So you can't say, okay, so like first I wanna lose fat in my face, then I wanna lose fat in my chest, then I wanna lose fat in my hips. We all store fat in different places, and we all lose it in different places in different orders. That doesn't mean that you will never lose fat in your hips or you'll never lose fat in your arms. It just means that you have to be in a calorie deficit for a certain period of time before your body will get to that point. Some people will lose fat in their hips first. Some people will lose fat in their belly first. Some people will lose fat in their face first. The order will change person to person, and it's funny because everyone is almost always like the grass is greener on the other side. People who store fat in their hips will be like, ugh, I wish I lost fat in my hips first. People who store fat in their belly will be like, oh, I wish I lost fat in my belly first. Like people, and same everywhere you go. So be happy with what you've got. Remember, whatever you have, someone else will want, and whatever someone else will have, you want. But the most important thing is focus on what you can change. You can change your nutrition, you can change your exercise, and that means that you can focus on being in a calorie deficit and you can focus on targeting certain areas to build muscle. As long as you do that on a consistent basis, you're gonna win. And as far as that targeting the love handle aspect, you can't target it, but you can eat in a calorie deficit and you can just build muscle in your abs doing certain ab strengthening exercises. So over time, they'll go away. You just gotta be patient and work hard. All right, so Chris, I hope that helped. Next question comes from Sadia Hake. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Sadia, I hope I didn't butcher it too badly. But the question was, why do some people eat so much junk and excessive calories but never gain a pound? It's an interesting question. I'm glad you brought it up. Trying to figure out what I want to talk about first here. What I would say the most important thing is, first let's talk about the science first. All right, let's just talk about the science aspect of this first, and then we'll go into the more mindset aspect. There's something called NEAT, N-E-A-T, and it stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's a mouthful, doesn't matter. It's just basically what it means is the movements that you do throughout the day that burn calories, that require energy, but aren't necessarily exercise. So blinking, me pointing to my head, chewing your food, your leg twitching, like if you're bounce your leg up and down under the table while you eat, any movement throughout the day. Because the thing is, just living, breathing requires energy to be used, so you're burning calories just living. What's interesting is some people burn way more calories than other people, just based on, it could be based on their work, right? So a construction worker is gonna burn way more calories than someone who sits at a desk all day, just based on your work activity. But if we're literally just talking about those smaller movements, the eyes blinking, the twitching, the knees shaking, whatever, there are some people who will burn way more calories just based on like they're that type of a person. They're like, if you have a friend that's like always moving and they can't sit down and like they're just like always walking around and fidgeting, they're gonna burn way more calories than someone who's just sitting down and not moving all day. And research has found that some people will burn up to like 700 calories just from NEAT, just from this non-exercise activity thermogenesis, whereas other people will do like 100 or 150 a day. And that's significant, right? Where you add that up over a week, someone burning 500 calories more every day, that's several thousand more calories. So there is something to be said for some people will just naturally be burning more calories than others, which can then lead them to eating more food. But that's really not what I want to focus on. I said that because I think it's important to cover the research and the science basis, but more important than that is you don't know what people are eating. You know what people will eat when they eat in front of you, but this is important from the perspective of a lot of times eating disorders as well. A lot of people will say, oh no, that person's really healthy. Like that person's so healthy. They have such a healthy body weight. I see them eat and they're fine. But what they don't realize is that when that person goes home, they binge on food, or they're purging, or you never know. You only see what people allow you to see. It is also very sunny all of a sudden. I'm gonna get up and walk. You only see what people allow you to see. And I bring that up because just because someone might eat a certain amount of food in front of you, whether it's junk food or they might eat a lot of food in front of you, you don't know what they're doing when they go home. You don't know what they're eating on a regular basis. You have no idea. So to say that why can some people just do that, odds are they're not eating junk all the time. Odds are they're not eating way too many calories. Odds are they're eating probably a very healthy diet, and when they're out with you or in public, they might treat themselves, but 80% of the time, 85% of the time, they're doing really well. And finally, and the most important part of this is, why do you care? Why do you care? It doesn't do anything to help you to sit and complain about it. Even if, let's say, even if I'm wrong, which I could be, I'm wrong a lot. Even if I'm wrong and there are people who can eat so much junk food and way too many calories and still maintain a healthy body weight, complaining about it doesn't even do anything for you. It's just perpetuating a negative mindset. And that's just the truth. Like, here's the deal. Stop focusing on what other people are doing and focus on what you can do to make a change. If there was an answer for that, like why can some people do it and others can't, and I explained it, but you couldn't, you were one of those people who couldn't, still doesn't help. It's not gonna do anything. So the whole sum and substance is, here's the deal. If you wanna lose fat, be in a calorie deficit, start tracking your fucking calories. Every day, track your calories. Do it for 30, join me in this challenge, 30 days straight. Track your calories. Sadia, you asked this question, I challenge you, I invite you to join me on this 30-day challenge. Track everything you eat meticulously for 30 days. Every day. Strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Do some cardio, even just walking every day. Just do some walking, some movement every day. Join me in this challenge. Track your calories. I guarantee you that if you stick to it for these 30 days, you're gonna see progress. And all of a sudden, you're gonna be like, you know what? That's all that matters, is that you're making progress, not what other people are doing for themselves, what you're doing for you. And that's really what matters here. Thank you for attending day 1 of Coffee with Jordan. I got 29 more days in this 30-day challenge. We're going all the way through June. Thank you so much. I love you. Any questions at Syatt Fitness, SYATT Fitness on Twitter. Have a good day.